Alright. Not too sure what's going on here. It doesn't look like... well, actually, no, it looks like the audio's going through, but I can't hear it, so I'm not too sure what that's about. I checked it on my own, though, and it seems like it's going through to the stream okay, so we'll just assume that everything is working normally. Welcome to the stream. We're going to get back into Fatal Frame 2, the Crimson Butterfly Director's Cut off of the original Xbox. Started this up a couple days ago. Didn't really get a whole lot of time to put into it, so we might be looking at a longer one here, though I am getting started later, so maybe not too long, but definitely going to be longer than the last stream. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay. Well, I don't know why. I can't hear the capture card either, though it is going through to the stream. I just don't know why I'm not hearing it. I can hear myself, so I don't think it's a problem with the mixer. Not too sure. It's knocked over something too. Let me see if I can set that back up. Not that. Very odd. I might actually have to restart the stream just to get this to work correctly. Because I think the problem might be with OBS, possibly. Looks like this is muted. Why is this muted? Unmute. Oh, there we go. That's weird. The mute button on my keyboard must have gotten hit or something. I'm not too sure how that even works and how I'm not able to hear my own desktop, but it's still able to go through to the stream. Very strange. Okay. Everything seems to be working now, though, so I think we are good to go. Alright. So once again, we started this up last week. We made a little bit of progress. I'm going to try to adjust my mic here a sec. Why don't I mute that? Just because it seems a little bit far removed from me. So we have our twins here, Mio and Mayu. I think we play as Mio. I don't remember now. They're identical. It gets a little hard to tell. Though I know that Mayu, she doesn't wear the leggings, whereas Mio does. So there you go. And as somebody pointed out during the last stream, one's ass is fatter than the other. I think it might be the one that we don't get to play as. What a shame, huh? But anyway, they seem to have encountered this hidden village, and it is filled with ghosts. What a coincidence, huh? It doesn't seem like this game is attached so far, like at all, to the first Fatal Frame. This is a different village. I don't even know if it's in the same area, the same prefecture, anything along those lines. And it seems to be dealing with something unrelated. The only binding trait between the games is the camera obscura, which, as I've noted before, it's a little bit different in how it functions in this game. Well, it functions the same, I suppose, at a baseline level, but just kind of like the little nuances of the camera, slightly different. Uh-oh. Ghosts are nailing them doors shut once again. Okay.
The flashlight.
Oh, shit. Alright, well, new chapter. At least we're heading in the right direction. And oh, no light. That's not fun. You can see black and urn from between the leaning boards. Priest behind. She also neglected to look at him for a second. What is that? Bloodstains? Tried pushing on the entrance door, but it's held by something and won't budge. There are countless handprints on the door. Okay. Interesting. Well, it's not nailed shut, but it is held by some force. Whoa. Place is falling apart. So I didn't have a whole lot of time. Been a little bit busy this week, but I didn't have a whole lot of time to take a look. But I did start playing a little bit of this game on the PS2. The flowers in the air are completely withered and dry. They crumble as you touch. The guests must have been entertained here at one time. It seems like an odd thing to bring up. I want to take a look at this game, and I might do this. It was like something I was similarly doing with Majora's Mask, because I wanted to see what the differences were between the 3DS version and the N64 version. N64 version being the one that I played. Kusabi? What's the Kusabi? The lock engraved with a butterfly design on the door. Now, the only thing is I doubt that this game... Oh. I doubt that this game has too many differences, just because it came out not too long after the original release. I was kind of curious about the original one too, but I had already started this one, so maybe at some other point I'll go through and I'll take a look at that one to see if there's any major differences. Found some camera equipment and film. Acquired the instant additional functions. Detects a fatal frame of the spirit and signals you by making the light in the upper part of the viewfinder flash red. Fatal frame is the most opportune moment to shoot within a shutter chance. If you capture a fatal frame, a shutter chance will occur during the blast back. Shooting again during this shutter chance creates a combo shot. Okay then. There's a lot of insider terminology there. As someone just starting the game, I'm sure it's a bit confusing. There are many small kimonos in the big box that must have belonged to children who lived here. But anyway, regardless, it didn't tell too many differences right off the bat. Visually, it looks pretty similar, though the Xbox does look a little bit cleaner. Once again, because it can be outputted to HD resolution, so that's nice. Some old kimonos in the chest of drawers, none of them are in any shape to wear. Not that you'd want to wear them anyway, I'm sure. One thing I did notice was that there is not a quick turn function, which there is a quick turn function in here. So whoever mentioned that in the first game, that the original game was the only game to have a quick turn function, they must have only played the PS2 versions. Because in the director's cut, that does make a comeback, which is nice. I do enjoy that. Also, let me check here. Yeah, we can access the options from the actual, in-game. You can access the options, these options right here, you can access them in the PS2 version from in the game. You have to actually go to the title menu, so that sucks. And you have to create a system save file. So a little bit of quality of life changes, I think, are a nice boon. I guess this is Mayu. Yeah, she's not wearing the leggings. Ah, there we go. Nope, don't do your little twirl. Come on. And other than those two things, I'm not too sure if I remember anything else. Like right off the bat, I did not, as I said, have a whole lot of time to actually play through it. I didn't even get past the first little mansion segment. So, maybe eventually. I did notice a particular tactic that's good at fighting the ghosts for the most part. And I sort of kind of saw a bit of it during one of the other battle sequences I had early on while I was streaming it. While I was streaming this version. But there seems to be a little bit of a nuanced tactic that's kind of nice. But it is sort of risky. But I was kind of forced into doing it simply because there is no quick turn function in the PS2 version. Looking between the torn sliding screens, you can see into the dim room. But anyway, when you're walking around in third person, you can turn around relatively quickly. Whereas if without the quick turn function, like without this, you have to do this. And then like turn around if something pops up behind you, or you just back up, which is also pretty slow. So usually, without the quick turn function, it's just better to turn around like that and then run and then turn back around and then whip the camera out. I noticed that when you walk up to a ghost or you're close to them, they do sort of lunge at you. Oh. Hey, who closed that? Seems to be held shut by some powerful force. There are a great many bloody handprints on the plastered wall. Prints remained with such force you could see indentations in the plaster. It's pretty powerful. But it seems like what you could potentially do is if there's a ghost, you run up to it in third person, you run away while it's trying to attack, then you take the camera out and take a shot at it. Well, it's got a fatal frame opportunity. Uh-oh. There you go. Oh, wow. Oh, actually, I think we could switch film. What am I looking for? Do I not have any higher grade film? Okay, that sucks. Ah. Damn. Ah. Once again, I missed the shot. Wasn't a zero shot, but I'll take it. She didn't have that much health anyway, so it wasn't a necessity to actually do that. Oh, got another spirit orb. Let's see if I do the up. Also, getting a little bit of buffering again. Like buffers and then it sorts itself out. Let's see what we got here. put another one in there if I wanted to. I would like to have the special ability, though, so I might. You know what? Let's try to get the basic first levels out of the way, because I can afford it. And then we'll determine from here what we want to upgrade. Little buffer. Yeah, I was seeing that on my end too. It's good now. All right. Looks important. Let me look around first before I do anything. There's a door. Sounds a little stormy out too. Uh-huh. It's like the one purpose of that room was just so I could see the thing tucked away over here. Ah, sacred water. Okay, that's good. Frame of the sunken fireplace is broken and has fallen down. Closer inspection, you see red stains all over the sunken fireplace. Gorgeous picture of a pine tree and bird is painted on the huge folding screen. Must have been beautiful at one time, but it's now faded and dilapidated. Faded and dilapidated. Damn it. Yeah, sick rhymes. Oh, God. What's the joke? I don't know, but I don't think this thing is to be messed with. Fluorite. Camera obscura doesn't have any effect. Oh. Definitely not to be messed with. If the camera doesn't work on it. Is that a door? Or am I just... Okay. Making sure I'm not boxing myself in. That's the joke right there. An unkillable ghost. Oh, hey, a stone mirror. I don't think we picked one of those up yet. There's an object covered by a large cloth. Cloth is filthy from being exposed to the elements. Rain is pouring down on the small garden open to the skies. I didn't even know it was raining. Second floor, Mayu. No, we got some points for that. Despite the fact that she's not really a ghost, but I guess just for my fast acting camera work. Speaking of, I'm hearing some thumping going around. I don't know what that is. I don't think it's in the game. I hope not. Door's stuck fast. Light falls around the paper-shaded lamp, making the darkness seem even more pronounced. Something in the drawer. Oh, hey. There's some new film, Type 61. It seems like a step up from 32. I don't know. Maybe there's been some advancements in the film world. On top of the chest of drawers, there's a beautiful red dish on display. Okay. There are flowers on display in the round, dimly lit window. Oh, that. Wasn't exactly looking at that, but alright. Folklore Note 3, book about the village, was on the old bookshelf. For several days, earthquakes have increased in frequency. At the same time, crimson butterflies are swarming, sometimes blocking out the sun. Wow. Somehow, they look sad. That wouldn't be my first thought. Villagers that seem to put their hands together in prayer. Wait. Villagers that see them put their hands together in prayer. There we go. The entire village has an air of impending doom. The village is fearful of the earth's fury. Perhaps a crimson sacrifice ritual is performed to purify the ground. In the past, every area had some type of ground purifying ceremony. Many of these offered sacrifices to try and calm the gods. If that custom still remains today, it explains the stillness in the village. The twin shrine maidens must be the guardian deities of this village. The guardian deities, the twin shrine maidens, have become crimson butterflies and are returning to the village. Oh, okay. So maybe there's a mild connection. Obviously, with the Himuro family, they had their own ritual. I mean, I don't know that it's the ground calming, but, they had a portal to hell, apparently, that they were trying to quell. Many different sounding books line in shelves. They're on subjects like legends, sacrifices, and rituals. But I don't know. I guess this is just another village that's got some wacky practice. Try and appease something. It just happens a lot in Japan, okay? Woven bamboo basket hangs on the wall. Something's going on. Might just be a hidden ghost. Small doll on the chair. Oh, I didn't even know there was a drawer to look in. There we go. Oh. I don't know. I guess I moved down too far. Different place can be seen in the photo. Looks like countless handprints on the wall. Yep, we saw that. Lock engraved with a diamond stack pattern family crest. Keys covered with dark red substance. What you laughing at? What's going on in there? Oh. I wanted to look at the folding screen, but I guess if I click on it, I just open the door. Alright, well, let's go back to that section of the house. I hope that the old man ghost isn't there. Whatever that is. The one that the camera had no effect on. Who's there? I must have missed it. Did this ever open up? It's still stuck fast. Alright. Oh. The controller vibrated for the thunder. I'm kind of like, my mind is... Whoa. That was loud. My mind is a bit hardwired to react to vibration as, like, ghostly activity. So I just whipped out the camera right then and there. Oh shit, he's still in here. I was worried for a second there. No, don't go back there. No need for that. Shit. Dragger. Something going on. The blue light's on too, which usually means there's something I could photograph. Maybe I need to be in the room. Oh, they opened it up for me. Found some camera equipment and film. Acquire the blast power-up lens. Raises damage and blast back. Spirit power required 2. Upgrade increases damage. Enables slow blast back ability. Inflicts heavier damage than normal and enables blast back. Forces the spirit back, even when it's not a shutter chance. To use, press the Y button when you've charged 2 or more spirit points. Okay, well, it's good to know too for the other one, because I didn't even know that you had to do that for any of the special abilities. I guess it's exactly the same as the first game, though. While this effect is active, you can inflict heavier damage on the spirit, but you can also blast back the spirit even when it's not a shutter chance. Raising the level of this effect allows you to inflict increased damage and enables the slow blast back ability. Okay. That probably takes over the spot for the slow. And I've already got a point in that, and I can't get a point in blast just yet. Put a spirit orb there, though. Kimonos are in the basket. Blood is soaked through, even though the kimonos are stored inside. There's some bamboo baskets and boxes scattered around. Something in the drawer. Whoa. Hold on. Whoa! Shit, there's 2 of them. That was a bad spot to be in. I don't think I could get into that door. Oh, crap. Oh, I was also reading the manual on the PS2 version while I had the chance, because I do not have the manual. Oh my god, I didn't even know I had that much Type 14 film. I did not have the manual for the Xbox version. But I was reading the manual on the PS2 version, and if you get caught by a ghost, you're just supposed to, like, move the analog stick. Oh, I already got the Type 61 installed. Okay. That's good. But, like, if they grab you, the left analog stick is what gets you free, not just button mashing. So I was right to an extent. That sucks. I couldn't even get it. She pops up behind you. Even if this was just like an open square room, it would be better than what the layout currently is, which is which is like a U shape, because the boxes are on the floor and you can't like walk over them. Oh, come on, this guy's still alive? Oh, shit. There goes all my Type 61. I didn't get a chance to use it in any other fashion. Maybe the blastback would have been better, but I did not have the points to put into it. Bloodstained wooden key carved with diamond stack design. Alright. Well, that was a little bit shitty, but I guess at least we got through it. Faintly glowing crystal. Oh, you know what? I got so caught up in trying to escape from Old Man Ghost that I didn't listen to this either.
Yai, we promised that we would always be together. Why?
Well, you know what they say. Promises aren't meant to be broken. Mayu's charm keeps pulling back up. I guess it just gives you hints on where you're supposed to go or something along those lines. But like it continually pops back up as usable.
I have it back. Ritual. Village. We were born for this purpose. Destiny.
Let me see. Are there? Yeah, we could turn subtitles on. Let's turn them subtitles on. And save, please. Thank you. Something happened at the end there. Well, the ritual was a failure, and I don't know. Maybe there's a new ritual that has to be enacted because Mayu seems to think, and I don't know how hearable that was on stream. It's just the only reason I'm talking about it. Mayu seems to think that they were born for whatever their purpose is here at the village. It's destiny. Lightning occasionally lights up the sky, but you can't see anything else. Son of a bitch, she's still here. I came out of there fast, too. I was kind of hopeful that he'd have to, like, take a second to manifest himself, but comes up pretty quick. Hit up that save point. Still locked. Still locked. Who are you? Turns head. I was about to say another rope ritual. Don't do it. Folklorist Note 4. Looks like an old diary. Ancient village records have been stored in the ceremony master's house. Many discuss the legends, folktales, or rituals of the village. There are sure to be many records of folklore of value. The forbidden ritual is also called the Crimson Sacrifice Ritual. Twins are used to help seal the gate to hell. Oh, we got another one. There are two parts. The visible ceremony, which occurs periodically, and if it fails, a hidden ceremony is performed. If all the ceremonies fail, the gate to hell will open. The dead will pour out, and skies will go dark. They call this disaster the Repentance. There was a calamity in the last one. The whereabouts of the Munakata's friends, the twin boys, Itsuki and Mutsuki, are unknown, which is a little troubling. If they are found, I might be able to ask them about the village. I still almost feel like this this is like a redo of sorts. I mean, unless we get something definitive that says like, oh yeah, the Himeros were doing something similar. This almost feels like let's just make a new story for Fatal Frame. Similar story, but let's just make a new one. Oh, wait, okay. I'm just gonna ignore the the dead ghost on the floor. I guess we will.
What happened? Someone was calling me, telling me to come back and perform the ritual again. The ritual? Stay with me forever and ever. Mm-hmm. Of course, we promised. For now, let's get out of here.
It's sleeping, don't disturb the ghost. Yeah, I got you. Butterfly Diary 1. There's an old diary near the place where Mayu was lying. Munakata and his teacher came to the village today. He said he was worried about Itsuki and came to help. But I can't tell outsiders about the village. Itsuki's locked up in the storehouse. I doubt he'll be allowed to walk or talk with an outsider. Yae. Mr. Bakabe made a picture of us with his picture box. My face looks strange, but it was interesting to see. Probably could... he's probably going to be... Star? Because our cleansing isn't finished yet. Oh, okay. Before that happens, we have to help him escape. If I can become one with you, Yae, I'll be happy. That's the only thing that matters to me. Sigh. The twins shared a diary. Warped twins. The photo was loose inside the diary. You put the butterfly diary in the photo of warped twins in your file. I guess that was the picture. Oh, not that. Oh, no, it's the file. Photos. Warped twin. Oh, yeah, the face does look weird. What's that about? Okay, anything else in here? Probably just smells old. Orange at the top. Don't think I've seen in the photo. Looks like the same doll. Dolls on display on the large doll stand. Must have been a girl's room. Dolls are falling to pieces now. Some of the dolls are even missing heads. I'm sure that's not due to deterioration. Some ulterior evil mode. Oh wait, no, that's the same thing. Don't be weirded out. Oh. I was gonna say, there's a sleeping ghost in here. We're gonna try and walk past it. This looks like the one that was coming out of the box. Oh shit. Man, that is some split second. Damn, son. Come over here. Come on. Come on. Well, I slowed it, but I lost the chance to actually get the zero shot. Oh, we lost it. Man, it is a lot harder to hit the zero shots in this game. Oh, shit. He blasted right past her. Ah! Okay, then. Something on the floor is shining. They are old but beautifully decorated. Twin doll heads. Probably the heads for the dolls in that other room. I guess we're going back. Two doll heads must belong to these dolls. Yes. Seems like the inserting their heads makes the mechanism start to work. Oh, this is time too. Oh, shit. Oh. Well, it's slide puzzle-ish. You know how this gets sometimes. Oh, shit. Oh, but then I moved them. Oh, no. Wait. Oh, we got it. In the picture, the one of the, I don't know what the hell that is, the concubine, the geisha, was on the second tier, but I guess it doesn't matter. As long as we get the two orange ones up at the top. Sound came from the small drawer on the stand, as if it just unlocked. Yeah, that's good. Butterfly key. Butterfly design is carved on the wooden key. Oh. Speak up. Speak up, Mayu. You're standing 12 inches in front of me and I still can't hear you. There was a door at the entrance of this mansion. I don't know if we want to call it that. This house. And it was locked. I don't remember the emblem that was on that door, but it could have been a butterfly. I suppose we'll go over there and find out. Kurosawa house map. Old map is on the table. It wasn't there a second ago. Very true. Folklorist Note 6, which I think is skipping one. I feel like we were up to 4, maybe? Twin girls of the house gave me a map that shows the side door. They said that the hidden ceremony is near and I should escape out the side door during the night. They left so quickly I couldn't even ask them about it. The other people in the house are acting normally. Was there some ulterior motive behind the generous hospitality? Just to be safe, I will tell Mudokata to go home ahead of me. So, it's a notebook. Old books. Oh yeah, we're missing quite a few notes. I don't have 1 or 2. And we did end on 4, so 5 is missing 2. Maybe it was in some of those houses that we had the option to enter earlier on, but I chose not to. Oh, I should probably look at the map now. Let's see. Okay. Doesn't appear to be anything. Talking man. Oh no. Not me. Alright, let's make a save. We'll work our way back down. I wonder if that thing is still going to be down there. It seems like it'd be a little bit more difficult with two people, but I don't know. Maybe Mayu's immune to ghostly activity. They seem to grab her, and she doesn't seem to. I mean, she cares, but it's not like she has a health bar or anything. Excuse me. Oh, God. Hey, super scared. What is up? Thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. How's it going tonight? Good to see you. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, doing a little bit of Fatal Frame. Second one off the Xbox. The director's cut, as they say. Just started this a couple days ago. We haven't gotten too far into it, but I'm on chapter 3. We're making our way through. How's it going, everybody? Good to see you guys. Let's see. Saw your stream and I didn't have a chance to catch it. I pretty much went out to grab dinner and then set this up as soon as I could. But what were you playing? Oh, you know what? No, you were playing. Were you doing New Worlds? I think I saw that on the ticker. There's the hidden ghost. What is that? Garden woman. Okay. It's good that somebody's taking care of the grounds while, it's in its dilapidated state. Always wanted to play these games. They are quite freaky. Pretty good, too, but they can be a little jarring sometimes.
Mayu, what's wrong? It's nothing. Mio, hurry up. Let's go. We have to get out of here.
Yeah, before Old Man Ghost comes back. Checking out New World tonight. Seems pretty cool. Getting back to Silent Hill 2 next week. Very nice. That's a great one. I've had Silent Hill in the brain for a while, too. I was almost kicking around the idea of doing those, but I did stream them a couple of years back. Kind of want to do stuff that I don't have recordings of, but who knows? Maybe the call will be too much, and I'll get to them before the end of October. I remember the first one multiple times as a kid. Never finished prologue because you were too scared. Well, can't blame you there. All based on a true story thinking the main menu freaked you out back then. I was looking into that because I wanted to know what story exactly it was based off of, and it seems like it wasn't actually based off of any true story. It's a conglomerate of urban legends that were kind of compiled together to make up the story that they came up with for Fatal Frame, but there wasn't any like hard set actual story it was. But back in the early mid 2000s, based on a true story was a popular tagline for all sorts of movies. Essentially, it was just a marketing ploy by the production company that produced it in the States and in Europe. If you look at the actual original Japanese version, it does not have that tagline anywhere on it, so it's kind of disappointing. I was actually taking a look. It's like the original clickbait. You are not wrong about that. I was actually taking a look to see, like, what is the story, and there were multiple, like, older website news articles about the Himito family, and I'm like, oh, was it actually a thing? And I was taking a look at it, and it was basically lifted straight from the game. Like, if you take a synopsis of Fatal Frame 1 and put it into text, that's basically what all those websites were talking about. I got a feeling like maybe somebody just leaked that story out there. Oh, God. Once upon a time during the original marketing for this game and said, oh yeah, it's real, because I can find no actual sources for the Himito story that was in 1, and everything was almost a carbon copy of the exact same thing, which was basically what the original plot was. There were no differences between the supposed Himito family and then the Himito family in the game, like right down to the rope shrine deal. Mayu, please. I need to move. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can slink past him since she doesn't apparently want to move. Still fascinating regardless. But yeah, it's essentially, as you said, it's just a clickbait. But in any case, it's a good game. I enjoyed playing through that one like a week ago. Finished that up. Uh-oh. Come on, get a move on. Kick up them scrawny legs. Oh, you're good. All right, well. Drop something too. Spirit orb. I was almost half expecting another one of them sound orbs. Queue up Riker, we made it up. Yeah, pretty much. Complete fiction. False. We made it up. True? Not this time. Apparently, once they started, not basing it off of a true story, it seems like people actually prefer the sequels to the original games, so maybe they were better off. I ain't running. Engraved lock with a butterfly design on the door. That's our door. So is this the secret door they were talking about? Or is there something? Oh, look, there's a door out there, too. I wonder what that is. Something's reflecting in the light. Okay, more sacred water. I'll never turn that down. Something in the drawer. Herbal medicine. Oop. Hello. Child at the door. Oh. Damn it. I wonder if I could have gotten more points if I got his face in there. I look at the hand because I figured that the door would immediately slam shut and then we wouldn't be able to get that picture. Type 14 film. Nice. Shoot. I'm pretty fast with the trigger finger on pulling out the camera to get these guys, but man, sometimes they get a little bit too quick for me. I've got almost all of them, but not everything. And then, same thing with the fatal frame shots. Some of those are just too fast for me. I mean, you get them eventually, but still. I don't know. It seems like they're leading me in this direction, which is why I don't want to go down it, but I will take a look. See what's going on here. Held shut by some powerful force, as usual. Shoot. How was anybody supposed to get that? Come on. Lock engraved to the diamond link pattern family crest at the door. How many families they got in here? Well, we know what to expect, I guess. So let's go check out the upstairs and see if there's anything we can do up there. Otherwise, a little bit curious to see what this is all about. It seems like there's a door on the exterior. Though I feel like I would have seen that when I was walking through there the first time around, so not too sure what that's about. Sturdy chest of drawers, but half the drawers won't open anymore. Get some more type 14. Which, how does... That's got to put me over 100, right? Oh, no, a 97. I guess we've had a couple battles, so... Dusty screens here. The sliding screens are rotten and won't move.
There's something over here.
What is that? Part of the floor is broken. You can see down the floor below. Seems to be something caught in a spiderweb strung across the hole. So what do I need for that?
There's something over here.
Well, if there's a first floor down there that I can get to it at, I haven't gone to it yet. Peeking child. Maybe I can get a stick. Taboo tome. Among the carefully arranged books, one in particular clearly stands out. Gate to Hell is called the... I guess these are redacted. Gaze not upon thee. Eyes that glimpse thee will be blinded by thee. Speak not of thee. The mouth which utters will be made speechless by thee. Listen not to thee. You gotta tell me what it is, otherwise I'm never gonna know. Those who heed thee are turned heartless by thee. By what? Ceremony Master's note number 2. Old book is on the cushion. Outsider visited with perfect timing. I'll use him for the hidden ceremony to pacify the... Again, redacted. We must ensure that he doesn't escape before that. Alright. Eerie Mass stares at anybody who enters the room. Something in the corner of the room covered with cloth. You can see what looks like the feet of a statue from under the cloth. Feet of 2 statues. I guess it could be 1 statue, but just sculpted in 2 figures. You remove the board, it was blocking the door. Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah, that was the door that was stuck fast. No supernatural entities involved at all. That was just wood. Let's take the opportunity to save, since we've been through a little bit, getting through there. Let me take a look, too. Let's see if I can... Got 30,000 points. That's pretty good. What does this do? Exercisable power at shot range. Basic exercisable power can be increased with an upgrade. I'm gonna do that. That sounds nice. I like the slow upgrade, too. I might put some points into that. Might be a little bit better. Kind of kicking around the idea of doing some range, too. The viewfinder in this one seems a lot tighter than it was in 1. Or at least, I guess, by the end of the game, anyway. It's tighter than what I'm used to, so... I feel like it'd benefit me if I could have a little bit of a broader scope. There's a board attached to the surface. Can we do anything with that? One carefully arranged books, one particular clearly stands out. If the redacted rumbles on a year without a ceremony, the kusabi is needed. A kusabi is an outsider made into a Buddha and offered to the redacted. The more they suffer, the greater the calming of the redacted. Okay. Disaster Tome. If the ritual is not performed, the Redacted will open. Inhuman wretches shall burst forth from the Redacted. Villagers will be engulfed by the Redacted, and the sky will be plunged into darkness. The darkness will spread over the land for generations, awakening the Redacted. We must think of this disaster as a repentance for our failure to fulfill our duty to the Redacted, which grants us life. We must accept that this is the reason for our existence. I get the feeling like this is just it's just an excuse to be an asshole. On the lattice, you can see a narrow space and a small door. Maybe you can get in there from some other room. Maybe. Yeah, we don't know what it is yet, but I'm sure it'll be revealed at some point. Okay, here's something else. In the Crimson Sacrifice ritual, the Shrine Maidens become one again. They become a deity and appease the Redacted. The latter stays here, watching over the human world. The first shall pass through the Redacted, calming the earth. And they're wacky rituals. So is that it? Did I get everything? Because I wasn't expecting there to be nearly as many books as there was on this. It's a board on the surface. Oh, Crimson Wing Tome. Shrine Maidens of the past and future made into crimson butterflies return from the Redacted as guardians of the village. Those who become butterflies ascend to heaven, parting the skies above, inviting the light upon us.
Everyone's dead.
Certainly seems that way. Enters the room, there stands a demonic-looking statue. Huh. Well, okay then. I think that might be it. Sorry.
Mio, there's something over here.
Okay. I'm seeing if something happened. I got so many books, maybe I can fashion some sort of, I don't know, cup out of it. Yeah, look at that.
I think something fell.
Old ball is on the floor. Crimson ball must have fallen through the hole in the ceiling. I think I got in. Maybe I gotta drop the ball through there. I mean, that's one way to do it. You can definitely see the item from the top there. I didn't see it coming into that room, but I see it now. Yeah. Maybe it would come loose if you dropped the ball onto it. It seems like that already happened, but sure. Looks as if the object that was caught dropped with the ball to the floor below. Well, let's see what it is. It's more than likely going to be a key of some sort, considering that we got a couple locked doors. Diamond link key. There we go. That should open up the door at the end of the hallway. There's also prime ghost attacking spots, so be on guard. Okay. Well, nothing happened. Shoot. Layer of dust of the ashes, the coal brazier. Hasn't been used for a long time. Keyword yet. Nothing happened yet. That guy walked through there, but Whoa. So violent for nothing happening. There are 2 padlocks on the cell door. Each of this symbol engraved on each padlock. One is light, the other is shadow. Folklorist Note 8. Long ago, a visitor to the mountain village became a ceremonial sacrifice. When the veiled priests captured me, they said things like outsider and kusabi. What exactly is the nature of the hidden ceremony? The key the twin girls gave me must be for the side door of the house. The key for the cell must be in another house. According to the map, the key is hidden in a cave under the Osaka house. Maybe this is a cellar in the passageway that I read about. Alright. I guess we gotta go check out something back at the rest of the village. Now, it seems like there's still more to this. What's back here? Got some 61 film. What's that say? Rotten smell wafts out of the urn. That's always fun. Uh-oh. Sorry. Clinging shadow. Let go. Is that not a full-on encounter? Well, we're going down. I'm guessing this is a cellar of some sort that was previously referred to. What's it looking like in here? Oh, this isn't even registering on the map. An impressive pillar. It looks as if it was carved from a single large tree. But what is it? Is it a support beam or is it just there? Uh-oh. Oh! It's a fatal frame. Didn't do a whole lot. Let me check and see if I can... Hold up, let me see if I can do it from here. Oh, again, it already equips like the strongest film for you right off the bat, so we already had it. It doesn't seem like I'm doing too much damage to it. And I've got the Type 61 on. I wonder if different film types don't necessarily do more damage. Maybe they have another effect. Shit. This guy just zipping around. There's a zero shot. Not that fatal frame, though. I'm seeing what it's referring to. When the indicator lights up, it's that little dot that's below the whatever you want to call that. See if I can slow him down, see if I can get him to do something else. But I don't know if I should wait a little bit longer for it to actually get that fatal frame in there. Come on, big guy, let's see one more. Okay. Spirit orb. But no stone. Square mouth of the old well gapes open. It's too dark inside to see the bottom. That was a pretty rough fight for, I don't know, just for a spirit orb. I figured something else would happen. Chugging along, though. So, let's see here. What am I at point-wise? 13,000. I wonder if I should give that... I mean, I like the slow. The blast might be nice. I mean, I have remarked that sometimes some of these ghosts doesn't seem like I'm doing a hell of a whole lot of damage to them. So maybe this will alleviate that. I don't know. Okay, so... yeah, there's only one ability that could be equipped at a time. As I figured, but still. Hammer design engraved on the padlock. You can feel cold wind coming from the cracks around the door. Must lead outside. Well, maybe. I guess that must be the secret passage that leads, like, outside of the village. So, I guess that probably means I need to go back through the main entrance, because it doesn't appear to be any sort of additional exit out here. What do you mean by that? Calling me scared? Call me chicken? I don't think there's anything else here that I can interact with. That's not even a mean, like, you know. I think the ultimate goal is probably just to leave the village, but still. There's nothing to do here. So. We'll go back through, I think, the main entrance. Or at least, hopefully, be able to go back through there. See if we can get into the rest of the village and check out those other houses. Because two things going on, it seems like... or, well, you know what? If they were keeping that guy locked up in there, I wonder if the key to get out through the passage is in that cell. But to get into the cell, they said that the keys were inside the other villagers' houses. So... it's kind of a twofold thing here. I guess type 7 film is infinite. Type 14. That's not what I was looking for. Film with hardly any exercisable power. Film never runs out. Okay. I didn't even realize that was a thing. I mean, we've had so much type 14 that it hasn't really been an issue. But I guess if you're really hard pressed and you're just taking shots every couple seconds, probably a good thing to have. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. That doesn't do anything. I mean, like in Fatal Frame 1, you could take like a regular snapshot and it does a decent amount of damage, but like in this one, you pretty much have to go for those core shots. Special shot. That did a decent amount of damage, I think. Well, at least I got a lot of points out of it. Yeah, we've got to fight this guy again. But I do think I went into that other room with the little well. I feel like I went into that prematurely. Can't tell where this guy is. There he is. The surround sound is real good. I can tell where he is, like, audibly. He's a little bit rough, though. That one was better than the previous one, I think. Ceremony Masters note number 1. Malice coming from the Redacted is getting stronger. I've searched and there's no record of it getting this strong in the past. Recently, poor harvests and deaths have begun to increase. Time of repentance for Tachibana's failure to perform the ritual is drawing near. Thank you also. Half of the Mourners were driven mad by the Malice and jumped into the Redacted. We must prepare the Mourners. We'll use the Sinners. If we don't do something, the Redacted will overflow in a few years. I must use my daughters in the ritual. Sai and Yae must be cleansed. For the village! I don't know what those are. Looks like some kind of charm or something. Oh, that's a staircase leading. There's a staircase leading down. There's a staircase leading up. There's still something back here. Incense burner filled with ashes on the shelf. Ceremony Master's note number 4. Sai and Yae ran away with that boy, remaining. The Kusabi calmed the Redacted a little, but it is still rumbling. If the twins aren't brought back, the village will be swallowed by the Redacted. They are my daughters. I must find them. Kind of unsure which way I should go. 2 staircases leading down. They probably go to the same spot. Or maybe not. It's blocked off. One goes up. Something weird was going on with that door. I think it's haunted. Below Kurosawa connecting corridor. I don't think we've been here. Some of these spots are starting to look a little familiar, though. Okay, we're outdoors. Looks like it stopped raining, too. Trees are lined up between the two hallways. Trees are wet, maybe because of the rain that was falling. Maybe. Rain does tend to make things kind of wet. Oh, whoa. Some kind of switch. There's a similar pattern on the hallway on the other side. I need you to come over here, do something for me. Stepped on the pattern of the floor, he felt it sink down a little bit. Well, we haven't had like an ability for her to do co-op based puzzles. Maybe if I go step on the other one, she'll get the message. And one can only hope.
I wonder if this will open if stepped on.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll stay here.
Oh, okay. Well, she gets the picture. It looks like a huge tower in the distance, too, from that one camera angle. Tower of Babel or something going on. You'd figured people would notice that from a distance. The place wouldn't be all that lost. Yeah, I'm trying. You unlock the door.
Didn't we promise? Together always.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Shadow key. Oh, hey, that must go to the cell. Because there was a shadow and a light key. Do we want to go through here? This girl's creepy. It doesn't help that she talks like this and super low or high pitch and faint. Sounds like she's got problems. Ceremony Master's note number 5. Old book is on the front of the altar. Yae is not coming back. Did she really leave Sai behind? Did she survive in the forest? If Sai is cleansed and acts as shrine maiden alone, the redacted might be appeased. The records do not mention any rituals with a single shrine maiden, but I will do it. I have to try. Yae, why did you run? Why won't you come back? Probably because she doesn't want to get sacrificed. Or whatever. There's a row of instruments on what looks like an altar. Countless ropes hang from the ceiling. This place must have been used for some special ritual. In one of the FMV cutscenes, they kept cutting back to little glimpses of the past and what I assumed was part of the ritual. And there was somebody all wrapped up in ropes. I thought it was going to be allusions to the first game, but it didn't seem to make any hard connections. So, don't really know what that's about. Oh, was there a save point back there? I didn't save, did I? I don't think I saved. Huh. I think we just walked in here, we saw the ghost man, and then I picked up the thing on the floor and just walked on. Anyway, it seems like there's something else going on in here. Let's see what happens with the doors in the back. Oops. Padlock engraved with a butterfly design. We do have a butterfly key. Yeah, I know about the ropes in the ceiling. I'm seeing if there's anything else that could be picked up from the center of this thing. Which, I guess not. I guess that's it. Alright. Well, something to come back to. Let me check this. Alright, damn. I could zoom in a little bit. We've come across so many locked doors that require so many special types of keys. It's like, I was somewhat hoping that there would be some kind of marker to show me. Like, oh, I need this key to get through to this part, because I'm afraid that by the time I go back to wherever I need to go back to and collect the key, I'm going to forget where I need to use it. That was almost kind of a thing that was happening in the first game. Though in some instances there was new items that you needed to interact with that you didn't know you had any sort of interaction with to begin with. So it just made it all the more confusing. Sacred water. A lot of health items. Okay, we're back in the weird lantern room. Uh-huh. What is that? Glowing red crystal. Oh, that must have been from the priest ghost. I just didn't catch it. Let's see what you have to say.
The ritual has failed. Why did Yabe run? Why did she not come back? She had. People not work without twins. Miss Sai. The repentance.
Oh. Had a bit of an aneurysm at the end there. Alright, let's check out the upstairs and see what's going on here. Since we definitively have seen that the opposite path that goes down to the bottom just connects to the same area. Found some camera equipment and film. Acquired the C power-up lens. Finds the location of a spirit. Spirit required 1. Upgrade extends duration. Displays location marker. Makes the spirit easier to locate. While the effect is active, the spirit is easier to locate. This is especially effective against spirits that vanish for extended periods of time. Raising the level of this effect extends the duration and enhances the directional mark of the viewfinder that points out where the spirit is. Well, I mean, that would be a boon in some regards, but I've got headphones, and I imagine that this game was not necessarily meant to be played with headphones, because this is before they started marketing consoles and whatnot with it, but the sound design is so good that I can tell just through the audio, as I've mentioned before, where ghosts are, even if I can't see them. The time of the ritual is coming. Itsuki and Mutsuki's ritual did not work. And this year, it's our turn. I'm leaving the village with you, Itsuki. I'm leaving the village with you. Itsuki will help us escape, and we'll be together forever, like I promised. Yae. The truth is, I don't want to run, but as long as I can be with you, I'll follow you anywhere. Just don't leave me here alone. Sigh. 2 Buddha statues have been placed on the little altar. Wait, does that open this door? Okay. Anyway, you can stand on that? Why don't you come over here a sec? There we go. Probably. Butterfly Diary 2. I was wrong. It's just like Itsuki said. Munakata's teacher is going to be a redacted. This has to stop. People like Motsuki shouldn't have to die. I have to do something. A veiled priest took one of the cell keys to the rope temple. Yae. Seems Father plans to make that man a redacted, even though he's Munakata's teacher. I know one cell key is hidden in Father's bookshelves. To keep the redacted appeased, there's only one thing to do. If we perform the Crimson Sacrifice, perhaps people won't suffer like this. Sigh. So... Okay. Heard something fall on the other side of the lattice. We need to go back in that room.
You won't leave me alone again, right?
Hey, I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do. Can't always get what we want. Look down at the floor below through the window. Many people must have once prayed in this room. So yeah, they were talking about one of the keys being in the Father's bookshelves, which I guess is that round thing. So that was back here somewhere. She keeps looking at stuff, and I think she's looking at like save points sometimes, but sometimes she looks elsewhere. Is there something over here? What do you see? On the jumbled items, there's a suit of armor with a giant gash in it. I don't think it was that. Seems to be a lot to interact with in that spot, but nothing's actually being able to be interacted with. It was mentioned previously that she looks at stuff, and don't be saying things like that. But anyway, it was noted that she looks at important items. But I still haven't seen anything necessarily. Buddha statue that was hidden in the shelves holds a tiny key in its hand. There's some empty bookshelves over the Buddha statue. Writing is inscribed into the wood. Engrave the crimson butterfly to seal up the redacted. If there's no sacrifice, repent with a kusabi. Put the books on the bookshelves? Okay. I don't know. Engrave the crimson butterfly to seal up the redacted. If there's no sacrifice, repent with a kusabi. Oh, so is there a particular order? Crimson, butterfly, redacted, sacrifice, repent, kusabi. Well, okay. Crimson wing tome, I guess we could assume that's that. Redacted would be Taboo? Taboo or disaster? I think it's taboo. Taboo. Sacrifice would be... Let's see, repent of the Kusabi. Maybe that's the ritual. Here's something unlocked behind the bookshelves. Oh, good. I'm glad I was right. Key fell from the statue's hand. I got the light key. Nice.
Never mind.
That's right. I don't want to hear it until we get out of here. I'm going to take the opportunity to go through here and hit the save point. That's just in the adjacent hallway. Librarian skills. I mean, with the titles of the books, yeah, you could sort of piece it together. Don't actually need to read the contents. I mean, you want to read the contents for lore value, but still. Okay, we need to go back down that main hallway. Shoot. Ooh, that one did a lot of damage. Takes a while for him to turn around. It's just one of them commoner weird villager ghosts. And let's see, got 16,000. C is what again? Oh, shoot. Finds location. Oh, yeah. We were talking about that. I'm not too keen on that one. The blast is pretty okay. I don't know. I kind of like the upgraded damage. Size of the capture circle. Size most power and shot range. Could just keep saving up and fill that out all the way. Maximum amount of spirit power that can be charged. That would be nice too. I don't know. I think I'm going to go for a big boy spend. But maybe not put a commit to Spirit Orb to it right away. Come on, these... Wow. The stupid raggedy drapes are blocking my view. I forget that you need the power orbs or whatever. Shut up, Mayu. I think, yeah, she's behind me. She was preventing me from walking further. Well, unfortunately, I killed it, but yeah, you need to back up a little bit. She's a bigger detriment than she is a help.
If it was to come to this, you should have done the ritual.
You're talking crazy. There's nobody here. I locked it with the 2 keys.
I knew.
Knew what? On the table, lit faintly by the paper-shade lamp, there's some red-stained writing paper. Beneath the table, there's a Japanese girl doll looking this way. Oh, that's weird. There it is. Type 90 film. Nice. Let's, okay. Let's look at it on the Type 14. 2 Buddha statues here. Yeah, I didn't want to necessarily have that equipped. Shoot. What are we in? Kurosawa, okay. Books about legends. You can't read some of the pages. What could have been written there? So the tree is hollow, wooden keys inside. Hammer key. Hammer design carved on this key. Maybe it opens the side door of this house. Osaka house map. Key and an old map were jammed inside. Put the old map in your file. Candlelight illuminates the space inside the bookcases. Get a sense here of both the protectors of the village history and the researching folklorist. Among the old tightly packed volumes, one slightly newer one has been tucked away. Twin Shrine Maidens. Folklorist Note 10. Twin Shrine Maidens are sacrificed in the Crimson Sacrifice ritual. Boys are sometimes used as well. In this case, they are called the Altar Twins. The people of this region believe that twins were once a single being, which was split into 2 at birth. Ceremony is based on the belief that when the 2 bodies are reunited as one, the Shrine Maiden will gain the power of a deity. The text says the older sister must redacted the younger and throw her into the redacted. Doesn't take much to figure out what that means. The redacted part must refer to the most horrible part of the ritual, probably some kind of sacrifice. Oh, another folklorist note. As expected, the jailer won't tell me anything, won't even say a word. It's a total reversal of the treatment I got when I came to the village. I guess this was the real reason I was invited to the village. The cell is used to store documents. I was able to find several important manuscripts. I can continue my research, but I doubt anyone will ever see it. Hellish Abyss. It's unclear how long this hole that connects to our world. Wait, it's unclear how long this hole that connects to our world to the underworld has existed. Okay. They say that if the cover to it is opened, it will cause a terrible disaster. This is the origin of the Gate to Hell folktale. As a taboo word, it is often represented in other texts as a star symbol. That's the redacted part. Maybe we should just start referring it to as the Gate to Hell. The suffering of the sacrifice is used to seal the hellish abyss, the Mourners. They are the guardians of the hellish abyss, and they are the only ones that can get near it. When the year of the ceremony comes, the mourners sew their eyes shut, so they cannot glimpse the hellish abyss. Criminals and anyone that has seen the hellish abyss are also forced to become mourners. Afterwards, they live underground, never returning to the surface. What can be so bad that looking at it is forbidden? It's a little weird. Maybe it's just like really hideous. It's like that alien in Star Trek, the original series, where they had to store it in a box, and the blind woman was the only one that could handle it. She was like the handler.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Oh no.
Mayu! No, it won't open. What do we do? There should be a key somewhere. I'll go look for it. Wait here, okay? No, don't go! Stay with me. Mayu. I'll be right back. You just promised. Don't leave me. Please, don't leave me.
Kind of reach an impasse.
I'll be right back. I really will. Wait just a minute, okay?
Dear sister, are you leaving me again?
Well, that's weird. Osaka house map. Key should be around here somewhere. It's definitely the location of the key according to the map. Map says Osaka house. Key should be there. Tried calling, but there was no answer. You better hurry up and get the keys. Don't worry about it. Just don't move, and we'll be okay. Doubt sets in once again. The ghosts are at it again, apparently. Trying to drive a wedge. Oops. There you are again. I don't know what this one's called. Oh. Man, some of these zero shots only ever last for a second. I can't ever quite get it right. I gotta go against my instinct. Shoot. She was running. Spirit orb. Let me see. What do they call her? Guess I got quite a few. Woman in a box. Well, obviously that doesn't always apply. Veiled priest. Oh, there she is. Oh, she's still the woman in a box. Despite the fact that she's been out of the box for quite a while now. But I guess if they just called her woman, probably not the most descriptive name we could give her. I guess that's true. We could call her the woman. Then we'd know. Okay, cool. So that's the hammer design. Alright. Oh, so that's what the door is. Flashlight came on, but it wouldn't come on in the house. Yeah, it's a little weird. So I saw that door from the map, and I wasn't sure what it connected to, but I guess it sort of makes sense. And that is a big house. Okay, we're coming back. I gotta go to the Osaka one. I'm not exactly sure which one that is. Run, Mio. Got attacked by drowned ghosts last time. Don't really want to repeat that. I wonder if I should go visit what's his face inside the outdoor cell too. I mean, the way he talked, it almost sounded like they want you to visit him if he gets stuck. Which I got an idea where I need to go, so it's not necessarily that, but I do wonder if something needs to happen with him. You know, at some point, I do have to look up and see how to trigger the multiple ending, or the better ending, because there are multiple endings in this game. Ah, crap. And I want to make sure I get the better one, because I remember when I streamed this years and years and years ago, it annoyed me. I got the worst ending, and then I remember going back and replaying through to get the better one. I don't think it took too long. I don't think I had to go back too far, but it was still somewhat annoying. So I want to make sure that I get the better one, like right off the bat. Storehouse bound. What a coincidence. Oh my. Oh, that's the Osaka house. I wonder what all these other ones are then. So the Osaka house is what we've already been into. That was that first house that we got in.
If it was to come to this, we should have a ritual.
Weeping Woman. Butterfly Diary number 4. Yae, why did you leave by yourself? It's our fault that this is happening to Itsuki. You promised we'd always be together. Sigh. Something unexpected happened. I don't know.
I'm back now. Don't leave me alone. It's dark here. I don't want to be alone. I want to see Itsuki. And say I'm sorry. It's all our fault. If we hadn't run away, Itsuki and the others didn't have to be this way.
Maybe she didn't want to be sacrificed. Well, could hardly blame her.
Come here, Yae.
Oh, so commanding. The cell key, I think they keep it at the Osaka house. Break the pinwheel seal to get to the basement of that house. Search the family altar, it has some kind of mechanism. Make all 4 sections of the pinwheel the same color. That'll open the underground door.
We can get out.
Okay, so yeah, it basically is just a hint machine. I mean, that works. Kind of spelling it out for you there. I do want to say that I think one of the alternate endings had something to do with helping him out, though. Which is why I was bringing that up in the first place. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to take a look. There's got to be like some kind of quick reference guide for that where I don't have to dig through everything. Or maybe like a spoiler-free. Sometimes I like the spoiler-free guides just because they cut out a lot of the flack. So I might look into that just to make sure that we get the best one. I mean, from what I remember, there wasn't too many differences between the two. And then, like, the super good best of all ending, that one is relegated to actually beating the game on the hardest difficulty. And that's specific with this version, too. That's not something you see in the PS2 version. I got the best ending in the PS2 version, and I was like, oh, that's it. Compared to the other one, I remember that being my reaction pretty much. But I feel like it would be interesting to see what it is in this game. I just don't know that I'd be willing to play through it again on the most extreme difficulty setting. Tends to not really be my speed most of the time. The only thing here is I don't remember where everything is. Faded hanging painting here. I was going to say fanging hated. Nothing in the closet. Lump under the bedding, that's all the same. I don't know. Oh, you're still here. I thought we took care of you already. I'm gonna go back there. Well, it looks like there's a locked door back there, actually. Maybe I should go in here. Oh, here we go. 5 pinwheel stone tablets in the small door behind the family altar. An unlocking device? Okay, so the goal was to make them all the same color. Mechanism stopped. Must only turn a certain number of times after inserting the crest. So the dude said to make them all the same color. I'm guessing that means, though, to Stopped. Damn. Oh, shit. I think I almost had that. Well, no. Almost isn't good enough. I think I would have had to turn one of them twice. There we go. Mortuary tablets and incense burners on the family altar. Well, I unlocked it, I think. I didn't get anything for it. Some flowers in the alcove. Oh, what's this? Type 0 film. Oh. Is it selectable from here? Yes, it is. That must be, I don't know, maybe the strongest type of film? It is the strongest shot. Okay, I'm going to go back here. I don't really know what the whole pinwheel thing was. I mean, we did it. We unlocked it. I don't think I got anything from that. It was just like you hear an unlocking sound. And then it told me that there were incense and mortuary tablets. Woman on deck. Alarm. Equip function. Fatal frame alarm. When this function is equipped, it sounds a tone to warn you of the exact fatal frame moment. Okay. Oh, okay, so that can be equipped with everything else. So that's nice. Village report. Some notes are lying on deck. Maybe they belong to the missing surveyors. For some reason, one of the statues is in the form of twins. I've also found a description of twin deity statues in the writings lying around the house. Village report 2. I looked down to the old well, but it was pitch black and I couldn't see a thing. If you listen closely, you can only hear the wind blowing, and it seems that the water is all dried up. I can't tell. Okay, Village report 3. Found a small shrine at the top of the long flight of stairs, shrouded in mist. It seems very old, but it is well made and has not fallen into disrepair. The entrance has a large butterfly. Village report 4. Came to this hill to take a look at the gate I passed through when I entered the village, but when I tried to find it... Must be something at these places he wrote about. I guess. Does that mean I should go there? Well, I think I've seen the well. I guess the gate at the entrance. There's gotta be some other stuff, too. So... Huh. Is that what I'm seeing? I thought that was like a locked door or something. It's also awfully hazy in there. I thought that there might be a ghost or something I could take a picture of, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Maybe that's just an effect of the screen hanging there. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'll take a look upstairs in this room. And then I guess I don't really know what else to do after that. I suppose I could go back and check on that Pinwheel case and see if there's something in there that I neglected to pick up, despite the fact that I clicked on it several times. Something in the drawer. Herbal Medicine. Oh, Type 61 film. Shut boxes. Oh, there you are. Peeking kid. Little bastard. Another spirit orb. Cloth draped over the mirror. Looks like the mirror underneath is broken. Uh-oh. Hopefully it's not one of the holy mirrors. Ooh, girl in hiding. It's a weird face. Scroll spread out on the table. Looks as if someone was copying something onto it. It's written in ancient characters. You don't know what it says. Bookcase has fallen over. Old books or scrolls litter the floor. Some of the books appear to be about local legends and tales, but there's nothing in detail. Bookcase has fallen over. Same thing. Folklorist Note 1. The ceremony master, Mr. Kurosawa, gave me a very warm welcome. The village has no chief. The ceremony master presides over the village, rather. I wonder if this village was founded by people who wanted to preserve their sacred rituals and festivals. Most notable among all gods' folklore is the Gate to Hell legend that has been passed down for years. It's an archetypal tale of a gate or hole that marks the border to the world of the dead, also called Hades, the underworld, or the netherworld. It is forbidden, or a forbidden place that is feared and hated, but it is also worshipped as well. The idea of hell has been a core belief of humans since ancient times. This village supports the theory that the belief is universal. The forbidden ritual regarding this gate to hell that takes place here is something no one is allowed to see or speak of. This strict taboo is probably the result of a ceremony concerning the border with hell coming closer to the living world. Villagers lead a simple life. Deep in the mountains, they struggle to forage for food for their daily meals. Villagers little contact with the outside world. They continue to practice the ways of old, frozen in time. Well, we got that. Still don't see anything super important. What could have happened here? Just the drawers have been ransacked. Still talking about the mortuary tablets and the incense burners. Not that. Let me see what's in here. But nothing else. There's that little thing in the middle there, but there doesn't seem to be anything I can actually use, interact with, or otherwise. Let me see. Did I actually get anything? I was looking for like a key item or something here, but no. Well, alright then. Oh, here it is. Paper shade lamp is lit. Doesn't seem to be anything special in the closet. Was there anything special? Okay. Well, there was... So... It was supposed to unlock something. I guess a door of some sort. I haven't seen anything. That's the only thing that looked new to me. The blue light is going off here too. Or it was. Oh wait, hold up. It's like only when I'm back here, it seems like. There we go. Frozen woman. Well, I found a number of things. Piddled around here for a bit. I guess I'll make a save. I think there's supposed to be a hidden door open somewhere. I just haven't seen it yet. Okay. Yeah, no kidding. Must be very well hidden. Yeah, there was supposed to be a... So I think the pinwheel thing was supposed to, according to what the guy said anyway, the pinwheel thing was supposed to open a hidden door that led to something underneath the house. What gets me is that this is different. This is new. But then she's like, nah, there's nothing interesting in there. You sure about that? Why don't you take a step inside? I might just go back to him and see what he said, just so we can make sure that we 100% like understand each other. Cool, there, those between the cracks. But nothing I can get into. What's this? Oh wait, that's just the door to get back out. It looked weird. Seems like the music kicked up. I don't think it was going off as much as it was before. I wanted to see if maybe there was a new door that opened up there. I guess if there was a door that opened, we would be able to see it on the map. Because, well, at the same time, I guess I got a map at the Kurosawa house, but when I got the map at the Kurosawa house and it made mention of the secret passage, it was visible on the map, despite the fact that I didn't see it myself.
Yai, can we still save her?
Maybe. Wonder might be there, but don't make any noise.
Both of you need to leave this village.
Okay, so he does say that the Osaka house has a basement. Keys below the Osaka house, bring it back to get Sai out.
Yai.
Well, we'll do another sweep through. I'll look in here again because it feels like there was another section of that room that I didn't clear. You would think that there'd be something like in the actual room that you use the thing to unlock too. At the point where I'm just like mashing the inspect button, which I've held off on doing because I tend to miss dialogue that way, but mashing the action button to see if something triggers. Oh, it was a woman notebook. Woman's Notebook 5. Sometimes I hear an eerie song-like sound coming from the family altar. It sounds as if something's coming from deep below. Maybe it's just wind? Maybe there really is something behind that wall. There's gotta be something over there. Let me look. What was hanging on the wall? Ah, there we go. Okay. Well, my suspicions were reaffirmed when I found that journal. Oh my god. That was loud. Can you make less noise when you walk through like that? Oh, I guess I can't walk any further. Stone mirror. Can't care anymore. Prenite. Japanese doll and glass boxes here. I got 30k. I need 3,800. 38,000 rather.
Somebody, please find me. I don't want to be alone. I'm here. Somebody.
Oh, there's still an item. Oh, wait, no, that's a stone mirror. Type 14 film. Film reel. Could possibly be viewed with a projector. Also, items such as braziers, candlesticks holders here. Place must have been used for storage. was gonna say, don't turn around. Well, Itsuki said something about the Mourners, and as we read in the journal entry, the Mourners do sew their eyes shut. I guess it'll be similar to facing off with the blinded woman in the first game. Oh, now you done it. I don't know if I should make a move or not. I kind of wanted to get it moving so I could try to attempt to get a zero shot. There we go. That's the key. There we go. Okay. So there were more walking off in the distance. A little bit wary about going through, but... You can see a large space beyond the rocks. This underground passage must lead somewhere else, too. Maybe, but it looks like we can't actually get over there. He's probably unwilling to climb over that. Uh-oh. Damn. Whoa. I don't like fighting in this tight space. Just kill. Ugh. Let's get out of here. I think we've had as much fun in there as humanly possible. Crying girl. Let's see. Ah. All right, maxed out sensitivity. Do think I want to do something for range in a bit, but the blast has been pretty good too, I gotta say. So, Might be worth my while doing something for that. There's still other... I mean, I guess I could... like, just go straight for Mayu. But anyway, there's still the other houses too. I don't know if I should go look in them at all, or if we'll be forced to go through there at some point, regardless. So, like, these two seem to lead into something. There's also the passageway that was up here, that fork in the road that we saw the priest all walking up. I might just go straight forward to see what happens. She's probably not going to be there. I mean, maybe, you know, I wasn't expecting necessarily to meet up with her again anyway. I thought by the first time that she walked off and wandered away, I figured that, oh, that's it. We ain't going to see her till the end of the game. But surprisingly, we had that little section inside the Kurosawa house. Oh, you again? So who knows? Maybe she'll come back. We can wander around the village together. Gonna do something? You're just gonna sit there floating around like a putz. There you go. Oh, shit. Ah! Forgot she could do that. Couldn't hear her either. Ooh, Fatal Frame. Don't actually hear it too often, since we've gotten the thing that alerts you via sound. Those Fatal Frame shots are kind of rare. So, which I assumed as much. I was going to say, like, I guess the zero shots and the Fatal Frame shots are definitively separate. They're different types of shots, which I guess I kind of knew just because of the way that the game describes them, but I don't know. I kind of, at the same time, was thinking they were sort of the same also. But I mean, as far as like damage, I'm not like calculating this crap. I just know that camera zooms in, indicator glows red, then that's big damage. But I assume Fatal Frame. Well, you'd think, you know, with the word fatal attached to it, that maybe it's a killing shot. Maybe it's a killing shot and a zero shot at the same time? I don't know. I should pull up the PS2 manual again and see if it gives me anything. Flashlight doesn't seem to... Or flashlight seems to go out when you enter this house. Yeah, kind of weird. Oh. No. No. God damn it. Thank you, Deller. You equally freaked me out as I was getting attacked by a ghost. But appreciate it. How's it going, everybody? Welcome, welcome. Did you play Saw that whole time? Or did you switch to Dread or something? Anyway, how's it going, everybody? Hey, Vale. Welcome. Kind of getting my ass handed to me by some ghosts here. Let's see if he makes a turn for the better. There we go. Nice. How you guys doing? Thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. Oh, man. So, okay. We're working our way through this mansion here. We got these mourners here. Their eyes are sewed up because they can't see the great evil. But that means that they're good at hearing, but they can't quite see me. So sometimes it's better not to move around them. 6 hours of Saw. Sounds like a movie marathon. Did you beat it? You're working on a puzzle last time I was watching. I was sort of watching you while I was having dinner, but then we got to get this all booted up. Alright, let's see if our girl's in there. And hopefully we won't get attacked by something. 2 mourners is enough. Can't see Mayu from the window. Maybe she's at the back of the cell? Maybe. There we go. Old rusty key. Oh my god. Books. Fatal Frame was one of the few games I never finished back when it was new. Scared the hell out of you when you were a teen. We had a Super Scared who was here just a few minutes ago. He was talking about how he used to rent this game all the time, but couldn't get past the prologue because of how scary it was. The game is freaky. Does catch me off guard quite a bit. Mayu's note. Something's written on the wall. It says, "Run," and "Are you going to leave me again?" in Japanese. Old piece of paper is on the table. Something's written on it. Mayu's note. "Itsuki, I'm so sorry. I went to see you and tell you how sorry I am. I'm sorry about Chitose, too." It means nothing to me. If you were to guess, you'd say about 3/4 of the way through. Well, making progress. White-haired boy. An old photo is underneath the note. Put the white-haired boy photo in your file. Damn, I can't believe the same thing happened 200 years ago. Oh, got a Mayu segment. So you got the second one too. You plan on streaming that after you finish the first Saw game? Or are you going to try and push through and get Dread? I hear Dread isn't a terribly long game, but you did just start that up too. Okay, that looked like one of the village houses in the main area, so I guess we need to go back there. So, I mean, it wasn't much of a prediction, but the prediction did come true. Left at a good spot. Next victim, the first table. Okay. Nice. Let's see if I go back and check that out. Yeah, I think right when I was about getting dinner started, you were working on a victim. Some big dude in a wife beater was strapped to some kind of contraption. I don't know. It looked interesting. I guess I'll take the underground passage. I don't know if anything is going to happen if we go back into the main part of the mansion. Sometimes new items and such, like, pop up again. Kind of afraid that we'd run into the old man ghost, though. Don't want to do that. Since apparently he's immune to everything. So I think I took a look in here earlier. There were the notes that I think it was the folklorist made, talking about certain parts of the village that had oddities about them. This definitely seems odd. Sawtooth will be next. Gonna pepper in Metroid Dread when you get frustrated. I figured it'd be the other way around. Just because he'd have to usually do so much backtracking and figure out stuff in the Metroid games. But I guess Saw does have some pretty hefty puzzle elements too. So Mayu looked like she was running up some massive steps. I feel like we saw that in this area. Let's see if we can get through. Hopefully, since we defeated the drowned woman just a few minutes ago, she's not going to pop back up again, but you never know. Sawtooth came in yesterday. It was filthy as hell, but he cleaned it up almost perfect. That's gross. What'd they do to it? I remember when I used to buy used movies and whatnot, sometimes some used games from the Hastings here. Always dirty. And I know they get them in from people like coming in to sell them, but Jesus, they never even like thought to clean it up. So you guys are supposed to be a respectable establishment. I bought a copy of which was it? Oh, there she is. Yeah, it's a little weird. Can't quite make that out. Corridor woman, eh? Oh shit, that was a Type 61. No, I didn't want to use that. It was one of the Man with No Name movies. I don't remember if it was the first or the second one. I don't think it was The Good and Bad and the Ugly, but it was one of those two. And I picked it up and it was like sticky, and I'm like, what the hell's on this thing? I think somebody like sprayed soda on it or something, but it was disgusting. And I couldn't play it. No, I did play. I attempted to play it. It didn't play. I took it out and I noticed a sticky residue on it, so that was gross. But what was worse was that it gunked up, I think, the DVD player I was using, because I stuck other DVDs in there too, and then they came out sticky. I should have sued. Oh, hey, a film projector. Looked like a finger painting of human oils. Ugh. Yeah, people got no decency when they're reselling their shit. Maybe cloth sways in the wind. They gotta, like, I don't know. They could even just spit on it and wipe it with their shirt. At least if it has the look of something clean, then I could deal with that. What is the film that's currently playing? What is this? Looks like some kind of underground hallway. Here, I will swap for, I guess, film reel 7. Let's see what this is. Some like horrible snuff film. Oh my god, somebody opening a door. Okay. Let's take that back. I'm still not sure what was on film reel 1. It was like a hallway. Oh, that place. I remember that. That's where the big altar was, where he needed both girls to step on the platform. Okay, so that must be the adjoining hallway then. Maybe the one that was beyond it? Well, God, seizure warning. Alrighty then. I guess that'll come into play at some point. Seems to be locked. Herbal Medicine. Alright, let's get up here. Every time I pass underneath that bridge, it looks like somebody is going from one end to the other. I'm not sure what end we're necessarily on, but I'm sure we have to get out there at some point. Found some camera equipment and film. Acquired the stun power-up lens. Effect intermittently stops the movement of a spirit. Requires 2, extends duration if you upgrade it. Stops the movement of a spirit being photographed intermittently. While this effect is active, the spirit will stop off and on, making it easier to grab a shutter chance, especially effective against quick spirits or spirits that are difficult to time. Raising the level extends the effect of its duration. Alright, I can get behind that. Still think I like the blast a little bit more, but we might be dealing with some quick ghosts at some point. Book about the villagers on the bookshelf. Folklorist note number 2. Guardian deity statues in this area are different in that they are engraved with shrine maidens. The village children say the statues honor the gods of the village. Also, a book in the house links the statues to something called the Crimson Sacrifice. Maybe the forbidden ritual is related to the Crimson Sacrifice. That's a fair guess. Door seems to be locked. I think there was another one that was over this way. Let's see what we got going on here. Ah, here's the bridge. Something shiny on the floor. Chrysoberyl. It's an interesting name. I don't think I've seen a rock like that before. Alright, we got a ghost in pain. Hey, how's it going, Vamp? Good to see you. How you doing?
The twins' house over the bridge. A log house connected by heaven and earth. I slept in them. Salem's heart.
Okay, so is what we're getting to the twin house. Door stuck fast. Didn't Mayu go through here? I think she did. I'm doing alright. That's good to hear, though. Whoop. Hold up. I was doing alright. What is this? Oh, we got... Whoa, another hanged woman. Okay. I'm surprised that worked. Wait. That didn't exactly do what I wanted it to. She just spun around in a circle. Good job, Mio. Oh, God. See, tank controls would have been handy in this instance. Whatever. Wasn't a core shot, but that's alright. Oh, she's still around? Okay, no. Vamp, all those years ago. Oh, God.
Houses of the twins are connected by heaven. If heaven is the root passage,
Got the man in the study. I think this or the first Fatal Frame, I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of these two games, and I did play them back to back. I think it was the first one that you visited my stream on. So it was a bit of an anniversary. Even though it's not like any sort of even number. That's okay. Oh, another folklorist note. The Kiryu house and the Tachibana houses are linked by a connecting corridor called the Twin Houses. Twin Shrine Maidens will stay there before the ceremony and are apparently cleansed there too. During the cleansing, they are not allowed to go outside, but they may pass freely between the houses. The bridge on the second floor of the Tachibana house is called the Heaven Bridge, and the bridge in the basement of the Kiryu house is called the Earth Bridge. Earth Bridge also connects to the passageway below. The passageway is a neutral cave under the village. At its deepest point lies Forbidden Place. Only a certain class of veiled priests and people called the Mourners may enter. It seems the gate to hell is there, and forbidden ritual is actually performed underground. You've been playing these recently yourself. Nice. Get the Lazulite. Another rock to listen to. I've never played these particular versions of them. These are the definitive versions, as they call them, or the director's cut versions that were released on the Xbox. When I streamed these games all those years ago, I was doing the PS2 versions. I feel like we were talking about Fatal Frame 2 recently. Yeah, we were talking about it during the Tomb Raider Last Revelation. We were theorizing what could potentially come from the HD release of 5. But yeah, the PS2 versions were the one I originally played, and the Xbox versions have been increasingly harder to get a hold of. So my recordings for those, one is completely lost, or I didn't even have a recording of it, and two, I think some of it is missing. Like they were attached to other streams, and those streams got deleted maybe, or some of those streams got corrupted too, just between file transfers. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to stream it again, even though I streamed it like 6 years ago. But I want to do a different version at the very least. But we'll have a new, fresh recording for it. So I decided to go for the Xbox versions, which have been nice so far. I mean, the enhanced visuals alone are almost worth it, I think. Let's see what this says.
Ritual taking place in this village cannot even be spoken about. Ritual throwing one of the twins into the land of the dead.
Alright. There's a remaster coming out. The remaster is coming out, I think, on the 28th of this month. They announced it a few months ago, but I think, yeah, October 28th is when it's slated to release, so we'll see. I don't think I'm going to just, like, jump to it, but I might get it still. Haven't actually played that one. I emulated it, and I got the controls working for it, but I played it for a few minutes, and I'm like, I think I'll come back to this. Wasn't necessarily because I thought it was bad or anything, it just wasn't in the mood for it at the time, so we'll see what happens. Raid for... Oops, I just dropped all my shit. Kumba? Alright. If he's still streaming when I finish up, I'll go ahead and raid him. Or them. I don't know who they are. I don't think I've ever seen Kumba before. But yeah, a little late. I would have preferred a little bit earlier in the month. And I don't know, had a bit more time to play it in the spirit of the season. I'm gonna head up to the save point real quick, and then I'm gonna go see. Oop. Oh hey, Entering Man. Even the save point goes out. But should be coming out on PC, which is nice. The fact that some of these games are still locked to certain consoles is a little bit shitty. Mega Man Hack Legend. Okay, I gotcha. Kind of curious about what's going on up here, though. Let's see if I can get up this path real quick. We got some kind of spooky. Oh, wait, I had the right film. Man in the Shadows. Looks like he's possibly being hanged. But yeah, anyway, we were talking about sort of what these games were tied to. I'm actually surprised at this point that they never did like a HD remaster collection on anything. It was nice that we ended up getting the ports on the PS3. I mean, that was cool. But even that's getting a little bit harder to sort of manage. I mean, anybody that wants to get those particular versions, it's getting harder to get a PS3 and seemingly getting harder to actually buy things off of the store on the PS3. And I did see that email. I didn't actually delete it, but I think I got it like later on, like after you mentioned it, Daler. But we were talking about that particular email for the PS3 store. Debit cards no longer accepted after, I think, October 27th, or at least after October. So that's going to be shitty, because you're going to have to fill up your wallet via some other means if you want to actually purchase anything off of there. So it's not like I wasn't doing that before anyway, because they were having issues with the payment anyway. Nor what appears to be a shrine, large butterfly mark displayed. The surveyor must have been here. Still waiting on 4. You were correct about that. Seems to be a continuation of the surveyor's notes you found earlier. Yeah. They sent out the email. Ooh, it hasn't quite been a week, but it's been a few days. So you can no longer use a debit card if you want to purchase things for the Vita or the PlayStation 3 on the store. What you need to do is you need to fill up your wallet that's tied to whatever account that you're using. And then you could do it that way. I was doing that before anyway, because it wouldn't actually accept my card previously, prior to the whole shitstorm that happened where people freaked out because they announced they were closing the store. For some reason, my payment would never go through, and I ended up having to fill my wallet on the PS4, then boot up my PS3 and purchase stuff that way. So it was a bit of a pain. Just threw $25 card on the PSN. Can't wait to see what you're not gonna play. It's a maybe. Hey, you're the one that bought DLC for a game you don't even own. You revealed that like an hour ago on your stream. What's this report say? I found a small shrine at the top of a long flight of stairs shrouded in mist. It seems very old, but is well made and has not fallen into disrepair. Entrance has a large butterfly crest painted on it. It's the same one building beyond the large bridge. Butterflies seem to have a special meaning, just like twins. They're frequently mentioned in the ritual literature. Butterfly means something else in the villagers too, or to them anyway. I noticed that the words appears in writings about the ritual. May not know the exact meaning, but the fact that the butterfly crest is on the shrine indicates that it is very special indeed. Should investigate further. Alright. I don't know if I want to go in there. Yeah, alright. Let's see what it is. Countless talismans with eerie writing on them stuck on the lattice. Beyond the lattice, you can see a straw doll lying down. It's about the size of a person. I doubt that's just a straw doll. Got no defense for that. If you got the money, I mean, just saying, might as well. Something piques your interest. There's plenty of games on there. Like, I have no clue when I'm going to have time to do the Suikoden games, but I got them. Because I sure as hell ain't getting physical copies of those. But they got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I noticed they had the Grandia games too. I think I got those as well. But I just put some money down on getting the 4th one. Got some Herbal Medicine. Last year I got Fatal Frame 3 because I didn't realize that it was actually on the PSN store. And that was when I made the determination that I was just going to start getting stuff because I knew that at some point the store was going to close. And then lo and behold, that announcement in April. But it all got reversed, so, you know, we have as much time as whatever is going to be allotted. Those flash sales were your obsession for a minute there. This is a good thing. Way back when. Nobody ever does flash sales anymore. I don't know why. Old Mirror's been enshrined in front of the altar with a crimson butterfly picture. Cool. Is there anything else here? I guess this is one of those things we probably have to come back to. But anyway, yeah, there's a lot of good games on there. PS3 definitely had the bulk of the good titles that got actually ported. PS4, unfortunately, is pretty scant, and at the same time, some stuff that's on PS4 originally was on the PS3 store, and then they just bumped it up to that one and took it off of the PS3 store. I guess to make it seem like there were more titles available. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, we're talking about in one of the previous Fatal Frame streams what games these consoles are on, and it's surprising that they just never got bumped up to a modern platform. Which is kind of a shame. But 3 and 4 probably still the ones that are, well, 5 too, but at least that one was sort of available on a modern store for a little bit. Still is technically on the Wii U, but it's one of those situations where it's like, who has a Wii U besides me? What was going on here? Different place can be seen in the photo. Oh, I know that. Yeah, I know that well. That's where Itsuki is. I don't even know if Fatal Frame 4 got like a European release. I don't even know if that game's ever actually been released in English. Like that one might have just been strictly Japanese, so that's probably the hardest to get a hold of. I know there's plenty of, well, I say plenty, but I know there's at least a fan translation and you can emulate it, but I don't know how fun it is without the motion controls. I haven't looked into it too deeply. I hear it's good, and that there's a enhanced sort of remake of Fatal Frame 2 on there as well, so that's kind of nice. Image of a person can be seen in the photo. Well, hopefully that unlocks the door. I never owned one, always went to your friend's house to play it. Yeah, for a while it was always one of those series that I just heard of, and I wasn't really interested in horror games until probably my teens. And then I got into the Resident Evil series first, and then just kind of like expanded through there, but I ended up playing these games kind of late, maybe, because my first exposure to them would have been those versions off of the PS3. So those released, what, like late 2000s, maybe like closing in on the 2010s. So I think I played them like in and around my 20s. Strange presence that was blocking the entrance to the door is gone now. Looks as you can enter the building here. Oh, wait, no, yes. But they're getting harder and harder to get a hold of in terms of physical copies. I don't think 5 even had a physical release outside of Japan. That one was digital only. One, 2, and 3. PS2 is more common, but they're starting to climb up there. I was talking about one of the previous streams too, that there was a physical copy of 3 brand new that people were selling for like $60. And I thought I'd pick it up, but I took a look at it like after that stream. It's already up to like 90. And I mean, granted, it is sealed new. My theory was that somebody just like found a box of them that was supposed to go to a store. Maybe somebody owned a store. And they had a box of them lying around, but they were selling them for $60 a pop. I'm like, that's not too bad. That's about MSRP when they were released anyway. But yeah, $80, $90 now for those. $50 if you want it used. You never know what the condition's going to be like on that. That's weird. Watching anybody play Amnesia earlier, had no idea it was a horror game. Oh. That used to be like one of the biggest horror games ever. But I guess if you're never exposed to that. I mean, I personally wasn't exposed to the buzz that Amnesia got. But I think like PewDiePie and some other YouTubers like made it really, really big. It was a big Let's Play game back in the early 2010s. I think that's where it got most of its acclaim from. I didn't even know that it was big in that regard. I remember buying it. I bought a physical copy off of Amazon because I was looking for more horror games to play, and that was kind of like at the top of everyone's list. I thought it was all right. I didn't hold up to things like, you know, the Silent Hills and the Fatal Frames of the world. At least not to me. But then, like a couple of years later, I found out that it was this big, huge Let's Play game off of YouTube. Sawtooth's about $90 complete in box. Got one without the book. Good, $60. That's not terrible. Amnesia series is great. I could never get a machine for pigs to work. Didn't play the one that just recently came out. Played the first one, and like I said, I thought it was alright. And then I played some of the Penumbra games, because that was suggested to me on stream. And I streamed one a few years ago. I streamed the first one. I played the others on my own time after that, but those are basically the same thing as Amnesia. Same developers. It's got a very similar gameplay style. I mean, they're not connected theme or story-wise, but they play almost exactly the same. Amnesia is basically a spiritual successor. See Amnesia on sale all the time. Wish you would have grabbed it. I'm kind of curious about the newest one, but it has not been on my immediate to-play list, so... It's so old, maybe it's warped. No doubt in my mind. But I think it's a pretty cool little game. I always liked the physics engine with it. I could pick up stuff. It amused me. What is this? The Violet Diary. Why kill? Why kill? Why kill? Why kill? Why kill? Why kill? Ad nauseum. Yeah, Amnesia is so popular and kind of old at this point that I would imagine that it goes on sale for pretty cheap quite often. See the next room through the hole in the wall. My only thing is that sometimes, I don't know if they fixed it for like Windows 10 or updated operating systems, but I had a hell of a time trying to get it to work on Windows 7. And then, like I said, Machine for Pigs, I could not get to work at all. But I'm sure it's actually on... I mean, that used to be a PC exclusive game, I think. I'm sure that's been ported at this point, considering how popular it is. You got Machine for Pigs to work, but you were about to drive yourself crazy with Jessica and the permadeath concept. Yeah, sometimes that can be a little frustrating. I should give it another try because I haven't tried it since I updated my operating system. I haven't tried it since I moved to 8.1. I had a hell of a time getting it to work with 7, or the original Amnesia, anyway. Had to do some weird stuff for it to work. But eventually I ended up getting to work in Machine for Pigs. I never got to work, but I never tried to play it ever since I updated to 8.1 and then later on 10. So I got no clue if that ever got fixed or not. And this one is really good. In fact, you really read the notes. The first Amnesia you saw, it was a prequel to all of them. Oh, okay. Yeah, it might be a series I gotta take another look into. At some point I should probably stream the Penumbra sequels too. I never got a chance to stream those again. Actually, I played the second one, I never played the third one, so I didn't even play all the way through them. Let's see what's going on here. I don't have a map for this place yet, so it's not all written out for me. What is this? Type 90 film. They all appear to be accounts of some ritual, but they're so old you can't read them. That looks important. What is that, a clock? Broken, but it appears to be a wind-up clock. Got some herbal medicine. Small mirror stands covered with red cloths lined up here. Beyond them, there's a pair of dolls. Everything seems to become in pairs in this room. Beautiful folding screen standing beyond the chest of drawers. Picture in the crimson butterflies fluttering below its flowers on it. The twin room. Oh god. Sitting doll. Oh, they're hostile?
Why do you kill?
Oh no. Yeah. Children are the most scary of all ghosts.
Why do you kill?
I don't kill. You're the one trying to grab me. Yeah. That didn't even really affect her.
Why do you kill?
I don't think I'm having an effect on them.
Why do you kill?
Oh, okay. Door's locked. Held shut by some powerful force. I don't know if I should attempt to make a second shot or if there's somewhere I need to go. Film reel 4. I guess we'll get to that when we get to that other house.
Why do you kill?
Yeah.
Why do you kill?
I say demons imitate children a lot to disarm you. Well, that's fun. run hours in that case. Maybe I gotta do a secondary shot with him or something. I don't know what's going on, but all doors are locked. Eat it. Oh, finally, we got something. I guess you just have to keep hitting him. Maybe I just need to get like a powerful enough shot. Maybe I'll switch to 61 or something. Where you at? Oh, shoot. Get away, get away, get away. Oh, wait a second. There's two of them. I didn't even notice that. I mean, I saw it in the cutscene, but I've only seen the one. Maybe only one of them takes damage. Ah. Damn it. It's what I'm going to anyway. The only thing is about this is we are in like a tiny hallway. So if one disappears for a while, or if one's trying to get me and the other one's like stuck or something, I'm not going to be able to tell where they are. There we go. That's it. That was the ticket. Okay. Glad I figured it out. I don't like kids. Trying to get their grubby hands on you. Okay, now I can freely explore. Box lids are stuck fast. Well, damn. Open the lock that was on the door. Oh. Huh. Oh, no, not this again. Come on. Whoa, 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 whoa. What are you doing? Kid's coming from the rafters. I think this is worse than the hallway. If only just because they've mixed up their strategy. I don't know what's going on. I think one's coming from the top and one's down below. Maybe I'll just see if I can get up here. Leave me alone. What the hell is that? I guess I can't investigate when you're getting chased. Something's reflecting in the light. Oh, hey. It's over for now. We're still discovering new parts of this place that we haven't seen before. Door's broken and won't open. Apparently something in here, too. At least something was... Something's causing the indicator to go off. I can't quite tell what's going on, though. Alright, well, at least we found a save point. Guess we'll save here. Alright. Well, this is a very cursed house that we've found ourselves in, and I think I'm gonna wait here. We'll call it. It's past 1 a.m. for me, so it's rather late, and we've been going for almost 3.5 hours, so I think this is as good a time as any to stop. Don't go anywhere real quick, though, because we do have a raid guide that was requested, so I'm going to go ahead and host a raid. Kumba? Let's see what old Kumba's up to, if he's still on. There he is, alright. We're going to go raid Kumba, as requested by Daler. And thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it as always. I will be back with this in a couple nights. I'm looking to start up Dead Space 2 next stream, so that's probably going to be tomorrow. So we'll be doing Dead Space 2 tomorrow, but we'll come back to Fatal Frame 2 in a couple nights. I will try to alternate as best I can between the two. And hopefully, unlike last week, I will be streaming Monday through Friday, or Monday through Wednesday at least, without any stops or alterations to the schedule. So it is what it is. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Taylor, for the raid. And we're going to go ahead and hit up Kumba for right now. So you guys take care. He's streaming something Mega Man related. I don't know which one it is, or if it's just some kind of hack or something. Apparently he's a hack man. He's a hack. Don't pour out a mixed drink. Good time as any for what your water tastes like. I guess so. Well, you guys have a good night. Take care, and we'll see you next time. So until then, later.